Hello everyone. Hope everyone's doing well today. I'm doing fine. Just got back from church a few hours ago and all is well. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about something that happened yesterday. I don't know if this, I'm trying to get this thing to zoom. Let's see if I get it to zoom. There we go. I'll be leaning back here a little bit. Well, yesterday my wife had come up to the homestead and had spent the night, and we had done a few chores around the homestead, and we let the chickens out because we were outside and they were foraging and having a good time, and I actually caught one of them in the live trap. And I had to run to town to Ace Hardware store to get a few things. And when I got done checking out at Ace Hardware, I got back into my truck, and my phone was ringing, and I answered it. It was my wife, and she was in a panic. She was panicking. She was telling me that that we had a couple of pit bulls in the yard, and one of the chickens had been killed, and she can't get the pit bulls out of the yard, the dogs out of the yard. And so I said, well, you know, I'll be there as soon as I can. It's going to take me about 15 minutes to get there. So I called the sheriff's office. The deputy got out there shortly after I did. By the time I got there, dogs were gone, and one of the chickens had been killed, and the chicken that was killed was the Silver Laced Wyandotte, the rooster, and it was a good-looking rooster. He had a good crow. He'd just been learning, then just getting it down pat. The other rooster is still kind of gargling a little bit for a crow. So it wasn't a pleasant loss, but it could have been worse for sure. He's probably not one of the smartest chickens we've ever had. Well, he was not the smartest chicken we've ever had, that's for sure. It might have been one of the dumbest chickens we've ever had. But I will tell you about the Silver Laced Wyandotte chickens. We got this time. We got 3 hens and a rooster, and so far, I told my wife yesterday. I said, after things kind of settled down a little bit, I said, you know, if you ever want to get a Silver Laced Wyandotte, I may fight you on that, because I'm not impressed with them yet at all. They're standoffish, pretty slow to figure out how to get in and out of the coop, and just doing different things. And they don't seem real bright. I mean, we like the more famous breeds, or I do. I like the Rhode Island Reds, the Forest Rocks, the Buff Orpingtons, and can't think of anything else right off the top of my head. But you know, those 3 right there, we never have problems with those. They seem to have great personalities, and I don't know, they're just fun. But she wanted to try them because we've never had them before, so we've tried them, and she agreed. She said, "Yeah, we'll see how it goes, but I'm not going to get rid of them." But if they don't change, and when it's time to get a new flock, we probably won't get Silver Laced Wyandottes. So we've had them. There's too many other breeds we'd rather have. So, anyways, you know, my wife was very shaken up. I tried to calm her down, and she said she'd seen the dogs before, and they were down the street, and I don't pass them coming to the house, so the other direction that I don't go. And so I went down there, blew my horn. They have Great Pyrenees, and they have a couple pit bull mixes. And the pit bull mixes have gotten out, and the Great Pyrenees is a Great Pyrenees. It does what it's supposed to do, you know. Pit bulls, like a lot of other dogs, they can have just so many different kind of personalities. But what I've seen with the large or with the livestock guardian dogs, they're so instinctual with what they do. They do what they do, and that's it. You know, got a big variety of personalities with those. Anyway, so I thought about it, and I said, you know, how do you react? Because I'm going to be trying to meet these owners of this pit bull that got these two pit bulls that got out of the property, out of their property, and came over into our property. The chickens were in the middle of our 5 acres, and these dogs did what dogs do that aren't used to animals, chickens especially. I mean, you know, for this pit bull, you know, it was just a game. He saw, you know, instead of a tennis ball, he saw a feather ball. And he's like, oh, feathers, let's go. And of course, chickens run off, and then that just turns in that instinct that dogs have to chase anything that runs. So I'm not upset with the dogs. It's a dog being a dog. I mean, he was not aggressive towards my wife. They never did come out. The deputy showed up, and he tried to go to the house. They didn't come out for him. I went over later that night and blew the horn, and nobody would come out. And one of the neighbors told us that brindle's bad news when it gets out. It doesn't hurt people, but it goes after chickens and just creates problems. And they try to keep it inside as often as possible. And on the first occasion I went over there, Brindle wasn't around. The black pit bull was kind of just participated a little bit in the killing, but they're just having fun, but he didn't catch anything. And he wasn't really into it like the Brindle colored pit bull was. And so I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, how do I handle it when I meet these people? And because the Brindle was out the second time I went over there, and so I know they were home, but they just weren't going to come out. My wife said, she's sure they probably heard her yelling and screaming at the dogs, and so I said, well, you know, I haven't met these neighbors yet. It's my fault. I shouldn't. I've been there we've had the property for 2 months, and I haven't gone down to meet them. And you know, I know there's a house there. There's traffic that goes by the property, and I haven't bothered to meet but one neighbor and the whole subdivision. So I said, well, you know, it's a chicken, you know, and it's a pit bull. It's a dog. Doesn't matter if it's a pit bull or not. It's a dog that's not familiar with chickens. I have a pit bull mix that's Brindle, and let me see if I can get her on my camera. She's kind of busy right now, but there's Roxy. She's a Brindle pit bull mix, and I kind of told my wife, I said, you know, Roxy's very calm. She's grown up with chickens. She'll walk right by them. She'll be paying attention to them, and they grew up with Roxy. You know, they were only 6 months old or close to it. And the only dog they've ever seen is Roxy. Roxy's never bothered them. And so here comes another Brindle pit bull mix, and you know, it probably didn't. Probably in the beginning, like, well, here comes Roxy, you know. But the dogs had different intentions, and but the owners have a responsibility. You know, that's one thing the deputy said. This county has a leash law. You're responsible for that animal, for that dog. That dog is, you know, you don't have to have a fence, but you're responsible for your dog. And they have a fence up, and the other two dogs, well, the black and white pit bull that came out with them only comes out apparently when the Brindle gets loose. But the livestock guardian dog never comes out. So anyways, I was hoping to meet with them, and I was thinking about what was I going to say. You know, wide variety of ways I can handle it. You know, I can pick up the dead rooster and throw it in their face and tell them they owe me money and cuss and scream and holler and throw a fit. Or I could just, you know, take it as for what it is. It's the dog got loose and came over to our yard, and isn't a killer. They can go in and kill the flock, and you know, they just they're playing. And my wife attested to that too. She said he's playful. He was a playful dog, and it was a toy to him. But you know, there's consequences. I mean, the chicken died, but also chicken. And so I just wanted to explain to him. I wanted to meet him. Wanted to find out what the dog's names were, and just remind him that the dog got loose, and that things can happen to dogs that get lost. The other neighbor on the road, the other people that live on the road said, "Hey, somebody shot our dog. We don't know who, but somebody shot our dog because our dog got loose, and was a dog that likes to mess with chickens and get in trouble and stuff like that." And they understood, you know. They tried to keep the dog on their property, and it got loose again. And you know, we had a Labrador. The reason why we got Roxy, well, that's a whole different story, but we had lost a Labrador that had gotten loose and got run over by a car, and it's our fault. But dog's just being a dog. But it was a puppy, and but anyways, you know, I think the right thing to handle it was to meet with people. I'm not going to give up on meeting with people. I mean, we're going to be going to Idaho for a week. I'm going to go up there, today's Sunday, I'm going to go up there on Tuesday and stock all the feeders. That's why I was up at Ace Hardware getting feeders, extra feeders and extra waters, because we can't find anybody to watch the animals while we're gone for a week. So we've got to have enough feed and water for a week. And they're going to be staying in the coop, which is fine because they're still learning how to lay eggs and be contained in the coop with the nesting boxes. It's not a bad thing for them for this week. So, anyways, I just want to talk to the people, get to know them, meet them like a neighbor should, and not make this such a big deal. I mean, it'll be a big deal. Now, you know, it was chicken. If the dog got gotten hold, if we had goats and the dog had gotten hold of one of the goats or something, I probably wouldn't be as calm as I am now. It's real hard for me to get close to, very emotionally attached to a chicken. There's just so many of them. They don't live very long. This one had no personality. He was just a chicken. I mean, he couldn't even mate with some of the hens because the hens would stand him down and let him mount him. And anyways, he's nothing like the other rooster that we've got. Out of all the chickens we had, that was probably the best chicken that we killed. And so some good things come out of it so far. You know, one thing is my wife, she wants to learn how to, you know, shoot. Whether it's a warning shot or to destroy the animal. She wants to learn how to shoot. I haven't had her out for a long time. She hasn't made time for it. And the whole time I've been out there this week with them, I've had a firearm on me just in case, because I don't know what to expect. I'm not saying I'm going to use it, but I don't know. I don't know what's coming on. But if I don't have a firearm on me, I don't have the opportunity to decide whether I'm going to use it or not. If it's sitting in the house and something happens, you don't have time to go inside and get it and then decide what you're going to do. So she wants to start carrying when she's up there, and which I think is good. I wanted to, and I've been trying to get her to. I've got several different pistols she can use. I had a shotgun. I had 2 shotguns at the house, but she had no idea how to use them. Never fired one before. She has. This has been a long time. I took her skeet shooting probably about 7 years ago, and but it's been 7 years. So that was the only time she shot a shotgun before. But I want her to. This will be good. It'll be good for her to learn how to shoot and protect herself. You know. So we're gonna do that, and I hope to make this a positive outcome with talking with the people and letting them know that the dog got loose, the dog did some destruction, and you've got to be responsible for your dog, and it's not going to be an accepted behavior. So if the dog comes back out on the property, either one of them or coyote or anything else, I'm around. They're going to be dispatched. So, but I want to make it a positive thing to meet with the neighbors, an opportunity, a reason to meet with them and discuss with them and be friendly with them and just explain. I'm not upset. It's not personal, anything like that. I understand how things work, and I've seen dogs before around chickens that you know when a dog is used to being on a farm or not. And Roxy's a pit bull. She doesn't really care about animals. She's Roxy. I'm gonna do a video one day of Roxy. I got such a nice story, neat story with Roxy. But anyways, so we lost our first chicken. We're going to get some good out of this. We're going to learn from this, and we're going to move forward. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoy your day, and thanks for watching. And I hope that you are able to recognize the Lord's blessings in your life. He is there, and He is aware of everything that's going on. And I'd love to hear from you. So, have a great day, guys. God bless. What are you doing? Trying to show you off there, buddy. You gonna do your rooster dance? You all danced out. There's our other rooster. Uh-oh, here we go. Oh no, didn't do it. They're running back to the coop. Run, 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 run. Get off my chair. Get off my chair.